holy smoke, scrambling like crazy behind this. Look at this. Tony, just for me and you right now, check this out. Check it out. Look who's calling. I can't stop him. Tony, I can't stop him. I cannot stop this guy. Do you see? He knows I'm on the air, too. This guy, it's out of control. All right, just a little peek. Tony, still going. Tony, get some more. Still going. No. That's number 4, dude. That's shout out Zeppelin 4. What's that? I don't know what that is. What's that?
My kids do that for WoW. Let's see the W and the W and the O.
See, you guys are so far ahead of on the street hand signals. I'm way behind now because my parenting days are kind of, my kids are in their 20s, so I've missed out on the WoW movement. All right, anyway, dude, Kron coming strong, Tony. Kron coming strong. I can't stop Steve. He's on a rampage. That's the 4th time today. All right, anyway, what's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? I want to start by addressing one of my good people out here, Juan Santa Maria, one of my favorite names. Welcome back to the community, brother. It's been a while. Good to see your face today. Pine Needle, Dom, Rags, all of y'all. John Joseph, Miguel, great to see everybody. Lazat, my main man, James Lazat, and Creative Tony with the Grateful Dead shirt, looking good. I remember, dude, you wore that shirt. Here's my memory. Not only with Grateful Dead set list, I'll give you Grateful Dead apparel memories as well. Tony, I remember you wore that shirt. I think it was the first ever Grateful Dead night at the Giants game because I have a picture of you and me and Mickey Hart, and you're wearing that shirt right there. It's a good one, T. Where'd you get that bad boy?
You gave this to me, my friend. This is the one you brought me from Chicago.
Oh,
yeah. I did the Fairly Well shows with you at Levi's at the Vi. And that's where Murph ran scared during the Dark Star. And then you went to Chicago, and then you brought me back this shirt. Because I remember I wanted a shirt, but I didn't want to deal with the scene of getting a shirt. And then you were kind enough to deal with the scene. And
it is a scene, too, bro. It's a freaking scene. When I went to Dave Matthews a couple of weeks ago at Shoreline, the line for the merchandise was, I'm going to say, almost a mile long. And I'm really not exaggerating, dude. At Shoreline, you got to walk, when you walk up that hill to get to like the 200s and then the lawn. Bro, this line went from the entrance up the freaking hill by the concession. I've never seen anything like it. So, yeah, dude, I don't blame you for not wanting to get involved with the apparel scene. So, listen, big weekend all over the place. For all you PMPers who went down to New Orleans, congrats. You got the job done. Thank you very much for your efforts. Niners are 2-0. Got a big one coming up at the Vi this weekend. Their home opener against the 2-0 Cardinals. Always a pesky team, the Cardinals, Tony. Go ahead, buddy.
I am absolutely jacked out of my mind, bro.
Dude. Yeah. I'm stoked they're 2-0. I don't care how they got there. I don't care if it's 2 ugly wins. I don't care if it was a battle to the end with New Orleans. I don't care. All I know is it's 2-0, 2 road games, a ton of injuries, and to be 2-0, it's a beautiful victory Monday, in my opinion, dude, because what they're dealing with and the fact that they've got a backup quarterback that dropped 3 TDs and no picks and 279 yards. I mean, dude, I got no qualms right now. I really don't.
Way, I love you saying I don't care. Shout out Black Flag. I don't care. I don't care if your parents here anyway. Don't care. I don't care. Don't care. That's Tony. Don't care, man. I don't care. Yeah.
I would say I don't care anymore. Wow. No more.
No more. No more. No more. Badaka bum bum. Shout out Collins on drums, dude. Underrated Collins on drums. He can hold it down, man.
Yes, 100%. And yes, Humdinger, qualms. I got no qualms today.
All right. So, Tony, big weekend, dude. I know you were buried up to your neck in youth sports, but Giants had an eventful weekend. After that incredible Friday night game, I got to say we were kind of let down. Seeing Dommy Smith do the David Lee Roth stretch, and then he pulls a hammy or something, because it was kind of David Lee Roth-esque, you know what I mean? Only thing that was missing was him jumping off the amplifiers, getting that kind of stretching ability, but he's out, and here comes Bryce Eldridge. So things are eventful in Giant Land. We got Kaiway Star in Arizona on the hill tonight. Meanwhile, the Chiefs lost, Niners win, so many good things. Tony, spin the freaking wheels. Tell me where you want to start. There are so many topics. We got to catch up on hot and sour. We got our Monday studs and duds. I mean, help a brother out. It's an overflow. We're overflowing.
Maybe before we celebrate the Niners' victory on the road in the Big Easy, we could celebrate the Chiefs being 0-2. Because I'm not an Eagles fan, but I was yesterday.
Same here. Dude, next week, I told Don Peralta last night on a text, I go, this will be the only time in like the calendar year where you're going to hear me actually drop a go Giants. That's how much I hate the Chiefs, bro. I'm rooting for the Giants next week to beat the Chiefs. And you know what? Maybe Maybe the way they hung with Dallas yesterday, that was a pretty entertaining ball game. The Dallas Giants game, Russ Wilson throwing that Hail Mary, converting. Dallas kicker hitting, 64 yarders. It was a crazy-ass game. A very entertaining NFL Sunday across the league. We had some low points, too. Joe Burrow limped off the field. We're not going to see him for 3 months. So a lot to catch up on today, Tony. But no, to your point, watching the Chiefs lose is so glorious. I can't get enough. I'm addicted. Watching Travis Kelce drop passes, it's the best. It's the freaking best, Tony.
And watching Travis Kelce yell at his teammates, and you could read his lips saying, "I'm sick of this S."
Well, guess what there, big guy? Maybe you want to hold on to the rock then. The ball hit him right in the hands. Whoops, right up in the air. Eagles pick it off. That would have been a touchdown, too. So maybe he should be mad at himself, you know?
So maybe you need to stop being such a marketing machine with your bride-to-be and your brother's podcast and all your crap and focus on football. I don't know, just for a goof. I mean, dude, the guy is still actually playing well. He did play well other than that, but still, I'm like, dude, you're 0-2 now, bro. And the shine is coming off, man. The shine is coming off.
It's so great. You know what would be the best? Go ahead.
The balls on Andy Reid going for it on 4th down on his own 40. I'm like, dude, what do you, I don't know. I was like, there's like a machismo bravado with the Chiefs right now that I'm not into, and I was rooting hard for the Eagles. Yeah, I mean hard for like when Devontae Smith is dropping passes, I'm like, dude, like almost like he's a Niner, you know.
That was the exact same way. I was applauding, I was yelling and cheering and texting people, celebrating with my friends. But I got to tell you, I got another question. I was thinking about this yesterday. Let's say the Chiefs have a rocky year. Let's say they win 10 games, 11 games, a little below their standard. You know what I mean? They don't make it to the Super Bowl. Here's my question, Tony. I know Taylor Swift and Travis, it's true love. Like, we've never seen a love like this in my lifetime. It's such a beautiful, tremendous, pure love. My question is this. Would Taylor Swift be dating this jackass if he was like a bench warmer on the Jets? You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be the most high-profile team, you know, on the most high-profile stage to suit her marketing abilities or whatever. But that's my question. You want to find real love. Would you be dating, like, the third-string dude on the Jacksonville Jaguars? I think not. You know what I mean? Which makes me question the legitimacy of the love in the first place. Tony, go ahead.
You have to question the legitimacy of the love because of the timing of the engagement announcement. It's all a marketing machine. I don't see her out here. She wasn't dating Tommy Cutlets DeVito, and now he's looking for a team. You know what I'm saying?
The truth, I bet you Tommy Cutlets is a much better date than Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce's probably fixing his hair. He's looking in the mirror like he's shaking hands with paparazzi. You go out with Tommy Cutlets, you're going to get a great night out. You know what I mean? He's well-mannered. He's a Jersey boy saying, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you, please. He knows his manners. She ain't getting out with Kelce. Come on.
No, I could see Tommy Cutlets showing up for their date night, either shirtless with a gold chain or
a few gold chains, maybe a few of them. Yeah.
Or just like a nice fitted blazer, a sport coat and no shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's being, what's up? It's Tommy. How you doing? You ready? Yeah. Tommy.
Just tell Taylor Cutlets is here. Just tell him Tommy Cutlets is downstairs. I'll be waiting in the car. Yeah. You know,
dude. Anyways, to your point, I don't think she'd be dating Travis if he was a third string bench warmer, practice squad player or on the depth chart third string. So I'm loving the Chiefs being 0-2 and loving the Niners being 2-0. And they're not pretty wins, dude. And by the way, Seattle taking care of business in Pittsburgh. Seattle might not be as bad as we might have thought they were because they looked good yesterday in Pittsburgh, dude.
They look real good. They hurt me on the hot and sour because I was foolish enough to take Pittsburgh, but I got to plead innocence on this or plead stupidity because I didn't know how bad the Pittsburgh run defense is. What the hell happened to the Steelers, dude? There were guys just galloping all over the field yesterday. I'm like, any of you guys want to, I don't know, throw a hand out, maybe try to make a tackle? Dude, it was like easy skating for the Seahawks. I learned a lesson yesterday about Seattle and Pittsburgh. And that's kind of what the beginning of the season is. You start to get a feel for which team is what and what's what out there. But it takes a few weeks to get a handle on the state of things.
No question. And you said foolish. Is it Steve Perry solo career who was saying foolish heart?
Foolish heart, hear me calling, stop before you stop calling. I'm forgetting the words, but that's the one. Yeah, foolish heart. Yeah.
hear my warning. You've been wrong before, but
dude, hear my voice. You've been wrong before, won't be wrong anymore. Foolish heart, flim, flim, flim. Anyway, that's me. I am a foolish heart.
Hey, also, I'd like to welcome back my Detroit Lions too, because they just whooped that Chicago Bear tail yesterday, dude. And you know what? It was part of my hot and sour picks, and I was like, you know what? Detroit getting 6.5. I think they're gonna do just fine. Jared Goff, 5 TDs. The master of Escobar, but the master of particles fantasy team. Okay. Escobar was on the receiving end of Jared Goff's 5 TDs as we started Goff. I thought about benching Goff for Penix. We're like, nope. Goff at home, no chance. Bears on the road, nope. And Goff went off. And dude, so did Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the Lions look like the Lions I thought they could be, right? So hopefully they keep that going.
Yeah, no question. And Lily Merchant also reminded me, back to that Steeler game for a second, that they had 2 turnovers at the worst possible time. Just a bad-looking game.
Yeah.
Excuse me, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, I also want to catch everybody up with Sound Summit a little bit today because we had a great time up on the mountain. Stevie B, I didn't see Steve Bisicchio. I was kind of disappointed, but he still might have been in the house. Excuse me. But I did hang with Don Peralta, Brian Murphy, and I, the master of ceremonies up there. Had a great time. Thank you, Mike Nash. We'll show some pictures a little bit later on. Why don't we give some love, though, Tony? We getting the show started. Why don't we give some love and respect to our sponsors? You want to start with some Stella? Little Stella design today? Yeah.
Really go, brother.
All right, Stella Design. This is my good buddy, Dom Peralta. He was up there at Sound Summit, too. But by the way, dude, Dom comes rolling up to Sound Summit. He's got, like, attache cases. He's handing out artwork. You know what I mean? You take a slide, handing out the Sly Stone art. Thank you so much for that, Dom. It's a beautiful piece, and I really appreciate that. But anyway, it's great to hang with Dom yesterday. And this is his outfit right here, Stellar Design. So Stellar Design is the Bay Area's industrial design studio shaping the future of product innovation. Of course, we've been talking about the Goha Leaf Sweep. It's in stores now, some new stores actually, starting with Riza Plants, R-I-Z-A, Riza Plants up in Napa. Then you got Sloat Gardens in San Francisco. I'm a big Sloat guy. We talked about this, get my Christmas tree from those guys back in the day. Also, Tony, the Goha Leaf Sweep was featured in Wired magazine today. If you got that link, pop that bad boy up there, and we'll take a look at that. Yeah, there you go. You can read all about it in Wired. Congratulations, Tom. Great press right there. Back to Stellar, though. They were founded in 2014. They had guide ideas from concept to production through prototyping, testing, and launch. From breakthrough consumer electronics to life-saving medical devices, Stellar merges cutting-edge technology with stunning aesthetics, so your product looks amazing and works flawlessly. Last thing I can tell you is they create award-winning design with a meaningful connection between people. That's a big deal to Dom. Dom is a people guy. He does like to make the connection, and I appreciate that about him. So keep that in mind. Whether you're an individual, you just have an idea or a germ of an idea, or maybe you're a startup company or a big dog on the block, like a Fortune 500 company, Stellar can work with all of y'all and offer partnership to achieve out-of-this-world design. Visit stellar.design and make design impact. Call 650-796-3144. You can also text that number, 650-796-3144, or email Big D. Call him Big D when you do. No, I'm just kidding. Call him Dom, but email him at dominic@stellar.design. Thank you so much, Don Peralta. Onward and upward, man, with the Goha Leaf Sweep and Wired magazine. That's some nice press there, Tony.
I was just going to say real quick, I wanted to read from Wired magazine really quick. They say experts recommend ensuring that your plant's leaves are free of dust, which blocks the light. He said they point out that dust can accumulate faster in the winter due to drier air. So you can gently wipe them with a soft, damp cloth, or use a specialty tool designed for the purpose, like Goha's microfiber leaf sweep. So how about that, man? In Wired magazine, there it is, featured right there, the picture of it in action. That might be Dom's hand actually holding the leaf sweep.
I hope it is. Yeah. I can only hope it is.
Yeah, but there you go, the Goha leaf sweep, and featured in Wired magazine today. Very cool. And GohaPlantCare.com is where you can check that out. So thanks, Pete. I just wanted to share that before.
Yeah, rock and roll. It's killer. It's killer. Love it, Dom, and congrats, man. That's a great piece today in Wired magazine. Everybody go check that out. Tony, a couple more things on the Chiefs, and I want to talk some Niner ball. So the Kansas City Chiefs, America's team, Tony, the world's team, as they'd like to be known. The freaking world's team, okay? They've made no bones about that. There was a big article on ESPN a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, we're setting out to become the world's team. Maybe not so fast, a-holes, because you guys are 0-2. And let me tell you this about the Muppet. Patrick Mahomes, he passed for, ready, Tony? This is the greatest quarterback of all time. That's what people keep telling me. This is the great. We've never seen anybody like that. threw for 187 yards yesterday. You got me? $187. My guy Mac Jones toasted his ass. And let me tell you something else. I will, to be fair though, just to be fair, because I got to be fair. A lot of it is shtick, and I don't like Mahomes. I do like to amplify that, but he is a competitor. He's a fierce competitor, and I will say this: he rushed for a touchdown in Brazil against the Chargers, and he had to do it again yesterday. It's almost like he has now become like their primary weapon. He's got to do everything himself. So until his receivers and his offensive line can get it together, I think the Chiefs are going to have a little bit of a downward slide this year, and it makes me very happy. So I'm just throwing it out there. And final complaint, as I finish my complaints about the Chiefs. What is with Tom Brady? Your boy Tom Brady, Tony's neighbor, for God's sakes. What's with him and his first name basis stuff? Well, Patrick's on his heels now. Patrick's looking downfield. Patrick doesn't have anything. Patrick's going to the bench. Look at Patrick. What a throw by Patrick. You want to mix in a last name at some point, bro? You want to like throw Mahomes on a tip? And it's the same with Kelsey. Oh, Travis should have held on to that football. Hey, Travis is really playing well today. Travis missed a block right there. Travis this, Travis that, Patrick this, Patrick that. What are we doing, Tony, with Brady? Is he under the spell of the Chiefs spell?
I think it's buddy ball with him, because he's obviously on a buddy like basis with all these guys, right? When he sees them. And so it's been a flaw of his since he went to the booth, that he's constantly just gone first names, like he would see them if he saw them in the locker room or saw them, out and about. Just give me the last name. I don't even want the first name. Just give me the last name. Right? I don't care.
It just sounds a little too friendly. It sounds like he's on their side. It's not a good look. Yeah.
And then it makes me wonder if you can be, are you biased in your analysis when you're just giving me first names? Just give me last names and move on with it. So I'm with you, Paulie. It is an interesting quirk of his. And I don't know. He's not bad in the booth, but it's like, yeah, dude, like I would just give me the last names, man.
And I want to just throw a question out there, courtesy of John Joseph, who brings up a good point. Let's not forget, Tom Brady is one of the owners. He's got a piece of the Raiders.
Yeah.
How is he allowed? I honestly, isn't that like a conflict of interest on some level? Like that he's in the booth, he's an owner. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. They've never had like an active owner broadcasting games at the same time. It's very weird. I wish we had Eddie D in the booth. You know what I mean? With a couple of scotch on the rocks during the game. God damn it, that fire in this guy. Just letting Eddie D run hot like that, it would have been great. But yeah, that is kind of a good point. I'm not sure what the legalities of the rules are on that one. That's really weird.
I don't know. It's just Roger Goodell just letting it fly, basically, because he's Tom Brady, and Roger Goodell loves Tom Brady. And so it's just like, okay, yeah, sure. You want to be in the booth? Oh, you want to be a part owner of the Raiders too? Yeah, go for it. Why not? Could you imagine if all of a sudden, that'd be like John Lynch going to into the booth while being the GM of the Niners. Brady's not as drastic, but still part owner and in the booth. It's definitely a conflict of interest.
I would think so. And then tonight, I'm sure, and I'm looking forward to the Raider Chiefs game tonight, because we're going back to Harbaugh, Pete Carroll again, dude, just like 10 years ago. San Francisco, Seattle. Now we got to go LA and Vegas, but really good looking ball game. And you picked you took the Chargers tonight?
No, I took the Raiders plus 3.5. I took the Raiders plus 3.5 at home in Vegas, because I'm pretty sure, it's Geno Smith is going to air it out, and there's the Pete Carroll factor. Like Pete Carroll is a very good coach, and players respond to him. And they have that new rookie running back, and Brock Bowers, I think, is going to play as well. So it's like I like this Raiders team. They're not, they're not going to, win the division, but I think that they can. I don't know if they'll win the game, but I think they can cover. I think it can be a very tight game this week, tonight. And Brady is supposed to be in the house tonight in Vegas.
He'll be in his Raider gear, dude. He walks around like I've seen him in all white, like a white Raider jacket, white pants. By the way, for the record, Tony, I've never worn white pants in my life, and I'm never going to, unless you get married or somebody and is like, you know what, Paul, you got to wear a white tux. Then I would say, okay. But dude, it's not like I'm going to the store and I'm buying white pants. You ever chuck down a pair of white pants? Tell me the truth.
Yes, I've done it once for a wedding, and then I've worn white pants, the same pair of white linen pants, twice. I was given these white linen pants to be there as part of a wedding party, and that was what you wore. We wore blue blazers, white linen pants, and I think we wore flip flops or something. But then I wore them again in Italy. And
that's the place to do it. See, now you're talking. Maybe in Italy, I could pull it off. No, you don't like that. Okay, go ahead. Go.
just indulge me on the story because you asked. Only because
I want to know. Yes.
And we're gonna get back to Niner ball and the NFL slate and some Giants ball too, because I'm a little ticked off right now about the Giants. But we were in Venice, and the group I was with, we had been carousing all night, and it's about 2 a.m. and I had to go. Number one, right? I had to go urinate, right?
Number one, bro. I had to go number one. Fantastic. Go ahead. I love it. Good detail. I had to go number one, kids. Okay. Yeah.
One of the locals that we were with was like,
don't
dude,
do it in the canals. You're not going number one into the canals of Venice, I hope. For God's sakes, we're riding gondolas through there. Let's keep the scene clean. You know what I mean?
One of the locals literally said, dude, you've got one of the biggest bathrooms in the world right there.
Boy, he didn't. You're peeing on your people. Now you're peeing on your ancestry here. You can't do that.
I'm just saying, I followed the locals' advice. Wow. And so we're right under the Rialto bridge, the main bridge in Venice. And I said, you know what? Okay, I'll take your advice. And it's 2 a.m. and I was feeling no pain. And I go and I step on the first step under the Rialto, and dude, I slipped and I fell into the canal of Venice.
That's what you get. No, see, I got no sympathy. That's what you get. That's what happens. The Italians powers that be were like, we can't have this sloppy American coming over here. Knock his ass in the canal. Knock him in. Yeah.
I mean, I slipped and fell. Right. The local guy, I forget his name. Let's just say it's Giovanni, right?
Beautiful. I hope it was Giovanni. Giovanni. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Giovanni. I'm wearing white linen pants. I come back around the corner, and they're like, "Why are you all? What happened?" I go, "I fell in the canal. Can we just get back to the hotel and I'll change?" He goes, "No. Do you have any cuts? Do you have any scrapes? Do you have any open wounds? What?" And I go, I don't think so. Why?" And he goes, "Dude, like I said, man, that is just infection-ridden water.
Shout out a little hepatitis C on your vacation. You know what I mean? I can't coming home with some hepatitis just for kicks. Yeah,
dude." Paulie, I had to go to the front desk of the hotel and get like extra sponges and stuff, and I had to have a full-on scrub down in the bathtub of the hotel because I had fallen into the Grand Canal. So,
well, listen, it happens, Tony. You know, these things do happen, especially when you're vacationing. All right, let's transition from peeing in canals to the Canal District in New Orleans. How about that transition? I just pull it out of thin air, Tony. It's a one-time only. No, but I was very pleased overall. I want to start with Mac Jones. I really liked what I saw from him. I thought he was composed. He made throws when he had to. I thought the line did a pretty good job. Again, I'm just reacting from the gut here, but I am already a little like uptight about how much work they're giving CMC. Christian McCaffrey, like, I don't want to overwork this guy and then have him breaking down. You see all these injuries already with the Niners. I mean, it does concern me. And now Juszczyk had to leave with a concussion yesterday. So think about this. These are all like Pro Bowl guys, man. These are all Pro Bowl talent guys. Purdy out, Kittle out, Ayuk out, Demarcus Robinson out, suspended, and now you got Juice with the concussion. So I don't know. Is it me, Tony? It could be me. What did you think? Did you think CMC was? It just seemed like a lot of work for him again yesterday. He had a lot of touches, and he took a lot of hits too.
A lot of touches, a lot of hits. I know that's what he prefers. I know he wants to be on the field all the time, but this is when you as a coach and you as the coaching staff need to be the I don't know, the realistic mind and say, no, dude, you need a breather. You need to balance it out. It's week 2. You know how long this season is. And by the way, again, no Garendo. Like,
well, they had him on special teams a little bit. He did a little special team work, but I feel you. He's not really in the backfield. And he's got the speed. He's about fastest guy in the team. You would think you want to like dump a couple screen passes off to him, maybe get him out in open space, see if he can light it up out there. Because we saw what he could do last year in Seattle. I mean, he's got jets, but I feel you. Where is he? I don't know why he's not been incorporated into the game plan. I'm not sure.
I don't know either, but to credit New Orleans, they held the Niners to 77 yards rushing, right? Yeah. And they only held McCaffrey to 55. They held BRJ to 20. So, but I just would like to, if you're going to spell McCaffrey, you could spell it with Garendum too, and Brian Robinson Jr. I have nothing against Robinson Jr. by the way. I'm just curious what happened to like. Does Shanahan not like Garendo at all anymore, or is it just were you going to be strictly special teams? I don't know. A little bizarre, but again, I can't complain because they're 2-0, Paulie, and I really, and dude, nice to see Jawan Jennings, 5 catches, 89 yards and a touchdown. Dude, okay. Keep doing that and you're going to get your bag. Keep doing that and you're going to get your bag, dude. Like, honest to God. And I really wish we would have seen that last week too. But maybe when you take 5 weeks off, you're going to be a little rusty.
Tony, who do you complain to about wanting a bag? I want a bag of my own at some point. Where's my bag and where's Tony's bag? We're each going to need bags ASAP. So let's get on that, kids. Who's ever in charge of the bags? Tony needs one. I need one. And fill it to the brim. Fill it all the way up. My bag, Tony. Looking for my bag. Also want to shout out Jair Brown. I thought he made a couple of nice plays yesterday. Want to shout out, dude, the first touchdown of the game. How about Mac Jones finding Luke Farrell, bro? Yeah. You got a guy named Farrell out there. Shout out Luke Perry Farrell. You know what I mean? Making grabs for the Niners. Of course, I'm going to support a guy named Farrell out there. But it's good to see them like working. Last week it was Tonjes. This week's it's Farrell. Like, good to see some other guys stepping in Kittle's absence, T.
Again, when you think about the injuries and think about that they're 2-0, how can anybody complain? Honest to God. And I've seen a lot of complaints on social media, and I'm like, dude, can we just be thankful and grateful? You could be the 0-2 Chiefs. They could be 1-1, but instead they're 2-0.
Right.
And by the way, the NFC West is just going to be a juggernaut all season long. I think. I really do. The Rams, the Cardinals, and Seattle, like, they're all good teams. All 3 of those teams are good teams, and so it's going to be a dogfight of a season. I think, unless Stafford gets hurt, which is a good. He's kind of like. By the way, did you hear that Trent Williams was supposedly not going to play yesterday, and then he ended up playing? So I'm glad he played. But again, there are certain people in the NFL, because they're older and they're maybe wiser at times too, to take time off as well. But that they just get hurt every season. And I'm not wishing it on anybody, of course, but I just expect at some point for Trent Williams to miss a game or two. And that's where you got to bring in not for Trent Williams, but you got to, a tip of the cap to Connor Colby, this rookie out of Iowa who played for Barch, dude. And I want to say,
yes, yeah, that's the other one. I forgot to mention Barch. He had to split too. He had to leave the game. Yeah.
Yep, dude. So way to go, Colby. And I know they're high on this kid. They got him in the 7th round, dude. And he's filling in, and he played well. Something about Iowa Hawkeye football. And then Paulie, the special teams, except for Eddie De Niro's missed PAT, dude.
What a way to get started. What a way to get started. I mean, like, right out of the gate, my guy Farrell scores. Here comes Pinheiro. Doink. Like, oh, Jesus, here we go again, man. What is it? And you know what's really interesting? It's not just in San Francisco. It's happening all over the league. There's been a lot of spotty kicking in a lot of different games. But in any case, how like code red did you go when he hit the upright like that? Like, were you like, oh man? Like, I figured, like, let the guy settle down. I try to be patient with these guys because I knew we were going to need him again. I knew we'd need him later on, and he did. He hit a 44-yarder in the second quarter. So a redemption,
total redemption. But I actually started laughing hysterically when it happened. I'm like. It just like it was one of these. You got to be S-ing me right now. You got like, are you kidding me? Yeah. And it was laughter. It was comical. So, but again, I'll say it all day long today, dude. And I was talking to my dad about it yesterday. Like, ugly wins, but 2-0.
You said that you liked. You were talking about being pretty pleased with what you saw from Jawan Jennings. I want to say the same for Pearsall. I thought he had a pretty decent game too. Like, he has been playing well. So, and that's all I was asking for. I just don't want to celebrate him too much before the season started, but so far so good. He's been pretty sure-handed out there. So I'm happy with what I saw from Pearsall. Other notes on the game. Feel about the defense, T, the 49er defensive effort yesterday.
I think they played hard they obviously played hard all game, but Kamara almost had 100 yards. He had 99 yards. So, and he's a really good running back still. But when they needed to, they made the plays, man. And they also, what did they hold Rattler to? And passing, I think it was under 200 yards passing, I believe.
Yeah.
186 yards passing. So, I mean, that's a damn good job. And then when we get to studs and duds, I'll go into more detail of who my stud is for the Niners for the game. But yeah, all in all, I'm fine. Bosa got a sack, which is good to see. So I'm fine with all of it. And Upton Stout, I think he had a sack as well.
He had a pretty good game. I like Stout. I like the kid. I like Stout. And I thought also, Tony, shout out Bryce Huff. Excuse me. He had a big play at the end of the game. Fred Warner, too, as always. Dude, did you see this footage? I think I put it in bookmarks last night. I'm pretty sure I did. Fred, did you see the footage of Fred Warner coming off the field at the end of the game, dude, with tears in his eyes? Did you see that?
No, I'll love to pull it up, dude. No,
I'm just, you know what? Maybe pull it up now. Just a special look at Fred Warner, just because it says so much about him. I saw this clip and I was like, God, this guy is that emotional after a win in New Orleans on week 2, highly decorated Pro Bowl, linebacker in the NFL, and just shows you how much this means to him. I want to put a ring on his finger so freaking bad. Like, he really is a champion, Fred Warner. Plays his guts out, knocked the ball loose yesterday, had, as always, just flying around making plays. D. Winters looked good again. But Fred is coming off the field in New Orleans. He's kind of interacting with all of the Niner fans that were down there. And I guess their new thing is, Tony, they call it Dub City. Like a win, you're getting a dub in Dub City. So he's like, Dub City, man, Dub City. And he's emotional. He's crying. I was like, God, I love 54, dude. I'm a Warner head. So was that in there, T? Did you find that?
It's right there. I just got it. It's coming up right now. There it is right there. So hang on one sec. I just want to make it enlarge it real quick. And then, yeah, look at him. Check him out.
Dub City!
Dude, did you catch the Mexican flag too? Did you see that somebody had the Mexican flag out because Fred Warner is part Mexican? Like, I love that. He has a Mexican flag. He used to. I don't know if he's doing it this year, but he used to have the Mexican flag on the back of his helmet. But I didn't catch that last night. I dig the flag coming off. Tony, we got a couple supers too. Let's help our buddies out here. I saw Los Digo flying by a couple of minutes ago as a super. Let's give him some love. Catch up with Los. I wonder if Los was happy. I didn't talk to him about the game yesterday. Wonder if Kelsey did the door test. It's sincerely Sonny from A Bronx Tale. Yeah, dude. You want to explain the door test, Tony? It really is a surefire way. It tells you who you're dealing with on any given date.
Yeah, when you take a girl out on a date, you make sure that you open the door for her, right? So the Los D, it's from A Bronx Tale. And did Kelsey pass the door test with Taylor Swift? I don't know. I'm hoping that Kelsey's a gentleman. I'm just going to assume he is.
Not as much of a gentleman as Tommy Cutlets. Tommy Cutlets, I'm telling you, he might be driving a Ford Pinto, but he's got the manners. And by the way, let me expand on the door test. So the proper door test is, according to the Bronx Tale, is you open the door for your date. She gets in the car. Now, when you're walking around the car to get in your seat, she needs to go unlock your door, return the courtesy. And then Sonny was like, if she doesn't open the door, that means she's a selfish broad and you should be done with her. Just something like that. You know what I mean? And he's like, but if she opens the door, that means she could be one of the greats, one of the all-time greats. And you know what? There is something to that. You know what I mean? Open the door for me, man. I just put you in, help a brother out. Anyway, that's the door test. Thank you, Los D. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Okay, on that note, because yes, I forgot about the second half of the door test. Do you think Taylor Swift is the type to open the door for Travis? I actually think she is.
I mean, she better be. She's preaching all this, positive empowerment and stuff. Open the door for a guy. You know what I mean? Let's get reciprocal up in this piece. You always put that on the screen, Tony. Reciprocity.
Yes,
she needs to show some reciprocity. And by the way, how come she's not going to all the games this year? You know what I mean? Where is she now? We got Trouble in Paradise already now that they're 0-2. If they go like 0-7, is she going to break up with them? And I'm only half kidding. I'm only kind of half kidding. If all of a sudden they just go down in flames, is she still head over heels in love, or does she maybe start looking for a new romantic interest? Just posing a thought. Just a question.
That would be amazing if all of a sudden, like, the engagement's off.
Well, she's trapped. Now she has to marry this jackass, because if she doesn't, like, she'd be under so much fire and so much crit. She's got to follow through now, man. You can't drop a guy just because his football team losing. I don't think. It ain't high school. You know what I mean?
Hopefully love prevails, Paulie, and that maybe this is when really Travis really needs her, when they're 0-7, and really can lean on her.
Or the dark side of Travis comes out, like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk. I lost another game today. I'm sick of this ass.
I mean, she's never seen a Kelsey on a losing team. So
that's my point. That's what I'm saying. It's been all roses and Super Bowls so far. Real life ain't like that. There's always a crash, man. What goes up comes down. It's a true story.
Although, like we talk about with the artists that we love, like Springsteen, like Eddie Vedder, like Garcia, like Robert Hunter, is that maybe it does. Maybe Taylor Swift starts writing songs about, Travis the loser. And about
you're gonna do like a concept album called like 0 and 2, you know what I mean? That's gonna be name her like new record where it's a concept. Every song tells a story about how badly he's playing. He's dropping balls, tip passes for interceptions, y'all, or whatever. Yeah, that's a record I'd buy. I'll buy that one. I'll buy the concept album about the decline of the Chiefs. And hopefully she makes that record. While we're on the topic, I got. Oh, sorry. Let's get to Super. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have another Super. Low Steve, thank you for the Super, brother. We'll be talking about flex funding tomorrow, but also thanks for the Super. Yeah. And Candlestick Kid, thank you for the Super. All gas, no brakes. Gold Rush is back. You are so right, Candlestick Kid. It is great to see blitzing football back for the Niners. It's really, really great to see. I'm all for it, man. And hashtag Dub City. Love it, Candlestick Kid.
All gas, no brakes, and that's Bobby Saleh's MO. And you see that fire again in the defense, and I like that. I like that.
And a lot of people have made the argument in the past, like, oh, coaches don't really matter at the pro level. Dude, you know what? Robert Saleh is proof positive that coaches can make a difference. Pete Carroll, and we'll see what happens tonight in Vegas, but like coaches can make a difference, right? If you bleed your job, if you are like Robert Saleh, you can tell. I'm sure he puts in. I'd love to see how many hours he puts in a week with game planning and with scheming and stuff. So coaches can make a difference even at the pro level, man. I'm so psyched we have Saleh back, and seeing Warner and Warner's reaction. And by the way, can you imagine what it must be like for the Niners when they're in New Orleans in the Superdome and they see all that red? I mean, and by the way, Noemi's sent some photos and a couple of videos from the Superdome and from New Orleans we should share before the show ends today, because they're really cool, really good stuff. We do Sound Summit. We can do a little mailbag, Paulie, Sound Summit, and because Don Peralta sent some pictures from Sound Summit as well. Do a little mailbag segment before the end of the show, if you don't mind.
Sounds great. You know what we should do, Tony? Why don't we do this? I want to say one last thing about Saleh, and then maybe we can do a Longbridge pizza, and then why don't we roll out our studs and duds? That's the name of our new piece, by the way. The best and worst of the weekend was just kind of pedestrian, so we wanted to spice it up, and we came up with the studs of the weekend and the duds of the weekend. We'll keep it clean. I got 2 names. Tony's got 2 names. Guys that jumped out at us over the weekend and guys that kind of underperformed, or just a bummer of a story could be a dud too. And we'll get into that in a second. But one more thing on Saleh. I was thinking, like, sometimes in the end, like if I was a coach in the NFL, unless my ego was so big that I had to be a head coach, I think being a successful OC or DC defensive coordinator could be like a really sweet spot for a lot of these guys. And maybe that's the deal with Saleh. Like, going to become the head coach of the New York Jets, I felt bad as soon as it happened. I'm like, that's a death sentence, dude. That's not good. The Jets have been abysmal for decades, and they look like they're going to continue to do that. So I never felt good about him going to coach the Jets. I feel great about him as a defensive coordinator. It's kind of like the Bob McKittrick mentality, where he was like, I'm an offensive line coach. That's what I do. I do it really well. We've got championships. I've got all pro linemen. My guys are diverse. They can interchange. They can switch spots on the line. Like, he perfected that job. Whereas, the head coach, you're the poster boy. You're going to take all the bullets and you're going to take all the arrows, and it becomes like you're managing people and personnel. Like, I think a defensive coordinator spot for Robert Saleh is the perfect spot for him to be in. I really do.
Yeah, Paulie, I totally agree. And some coaches are just meant to be coordinators or assistant coaches. My uncle Paul Tonelli, one of his favorite coaches of all time, besides Bob McKittrick, Paulie, is Bobby Turner, the longtime running backs coach for the 49ers under Shanahan. He's been with the Niners since 2017. And dude, players rave about this guy. And I want to say he's in his mid 70s. I'll have to look up his age, but he's old school. And he resigned to the fact that he is a great position coach. And that's what he does very well. And some people are meant to be head coaches and others aren't. And I think Saleh, the rest of his career, if he just stayed Niners D coordinator and got a ring, consider his career a success. You know, he doesn't need to be a head coach. He tried it, and the situation was bad. And I think he just locks into defense, and being a D coordinator allows him to lock in fully on defense and not have to worry about the other side of the ball, you know?
And well said, Tony. And I also think like you can see the love out there. The guys like playing for Saleh. I also saw when the final gun sounded at the end of the fourth quarter yesterday, first thing I saw from a different angle, I was just looking at stuff online last night. There was somebody shot footage behind the 49er bench of the final seconds of the fourth quarter. First thing I saw was Fred Warner went running over to Shanahan and just hugged him at the end of the game. And I love that. I feel like the Niners have a good harmonious locker room right now. I watched all the post-game stuff, Shanahan giving away game balls, shouted out Bryce Huff after the game. That was really cool. And yes, Kyle McKiernan, good to see you again. The sky is falling in Kansas City, and you're coming to the right place because we're going to be celebrating that all week long. And again, as I said, I'm so anti-Kansas City Chief, I'm actually going to be dropping a Go Giants on y'all this weekend. If you give me enough points, I might even take them. I might, just out of spite. But anyway, Tony.
Hold on.
Utah, give me two.
Okay. Two things. First of all, okay, you said, what does Kyle say? The sky is falling. It made me think of either The Sky is Crying, Stevie Ray Vaughan, or Kiss, Tears Are Falling.
Oh,
you want to go both? The Sky is Crying and Tears Are Falling. I'm going to marry the two, Stevie Ray Vaughan, because Kyle said the sky is falling, dude. By the way, I don't think Tears Are Falling gets enough love in the Kiss catalog, first of all.
Great song, dude. Oh no, tears are falling. Dude, I read your mind like an open book, or I read your heart like an open book, something like that. Yeah, let Paul Stanley do his thing, you know.
And Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Sky is Crying. So, I mean, you said it's kind of like a riff or whatever about the Chiefs, sure, but it is nice to see after the ESPN and whoever has the balls to launch a mini series called The Kingdom when they're not even the reigning champions, and they launch a show called The Kingdom. It's like sometimes ESPN, even though you had all this footage because you assumed they were going to three-peat and you followed them around all season expecting a three-peat and it didn't happen, sometimes you got to bite the bullet and say, you know what, we're not doing this.
Let's cut bait. We got to cut bait. It didn't happen. Oh well, we tried. It didn't happen. Like when that's the difference. When they did the ESPN very impressive documentary series about the Chicago Bulls, The Last Dance, we've all seen that. Mm-hmm. Jordan delivered. You know what I mean? They're following Jordan around for his final season. He's like, yeah, you think I'm going to let you guys follow me around all year and not win a ring? I'm definitely going to win a ring. And he did. But great call, Tony. After all that work following the Muppet around all year, they fall short. Not just fall short. They got stomped in the Super Bowl. They got their guts stomped. And you know what else was great about yesterday? One final thing, then Longbridge. The refs have started to freaking tuck the flags in, dude. Yeah. They're not so far. They're not holding the Chiefs' hand for a change, and you see the result.
Yep,
that's 2 L's right there without the help of the refs. I'm telling you, it's a new era, man.
Yep, no question. Remember, I said Utah, give me 2. The second thing I wanted to say, Paulie, is because we're going to be on the New York Giants bandwagon this weekend, I got to find the Phil Simms cut. We got to get the Phil Simms.
Hey, Paul Mac, how you doing? It's Phil Simms. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So we got to play that this week because we got to get the Giants vibes going, because could you imagine? And Giants, dude, Garrett Dillon, one of my dear friends, he is heartbroken today after losing that game to Dallas in overtime. So they're going to be pissed. You know, New York is pissed. They felt like they should have won that game. Yeah, big.
How did I not know that? I didn't know that. Tell Garrett I said what's up. I haven't seen him in years. I had no idea he was a big blue guy, dude. How do you coexist with a big blue guy? Although Winks, my buddy Winks, is a big blue guy, so it can be done. Yeah,
it's like nobody's perfect, right? Everybody has their flaws. I will say though, knowing Winks is a Giants fan and having Garrett be a Giants fan and Rags being a Cowboys fan, it does.
There's hope for the future, right? Yeah, there's hope we can coexist. Yeah,
like. My first thought when I saw that the Cowboys win that game, I thought, you know what, right on. And I felt I had an image of Rags in a very celebratory mood, and it made me happy. So I wasn't happy for the Cowboys. but I was happy for Rags.
Yeah, you're a good guy like that. I feel I'm the same way. I actually texted Rags. I said, hey, nice win today, man. Nice win. F the Giants, onward and upward. I did. I threw an F the Giants in there just for good measure. Had to.
Oh, look at this stinking badge. Stinking badges checking in. He says the jerk store is
so far. You ain't wrong, badges, and thank you. They are all out. They're totally sold on the Muppet. One other comment too. I said, and thank you so much, badges. Appreciate you, man. Cool. I saw James Lazat a couple of minutes ago when you were talking about the kingdom. James Lazat put a message up there. He goes, "The kingdom." That's the dumbest S I've ever heard, dude. And I'm with you, James. I'm with you. The kingdom of what? Jackasses? You know what I mean? Stevie B checking in here. Give me some Stevie B love up here.
Yeah, you bet.
We need Winks.
Diapers. Needed Winks diapers.
That's okay. For the sketchy bus ride down Mount Tam. Sounds so nearly had a coronary and a car accident. Cake was in rare kind of. Dude, I'm so bummed I missed you, Stevie B. But I'm glad you had a good time, and it really is a special day up there. Promoter Michael Nash, who was a guest on our show a couple of weeks ago, throws this incredible party every year where it's like a mini festival in one day. And he gives you a lot of different flavors, of the musical palette, So you get some indie bands. You know what they had yesterday or 2 days ago, Tony? First time ever. They had young poets going up there, dude, dropping science. So we had poets in between the bands doing like spoken word. Shout out Henry Rollins doing spoken word. That's kind of like the next generation coming up. These kids, it was really cool. And dude, no, you're not kidding. Stevie B, you got to take your time going down Mount Tam. Take your freaking time. The only thing I hate, though, Tony, is when you're driving down Mount Tam, because he's right. I mean, dude, one wrong move, you're going over the side, and that's goodbye, Stevie B. Goodbye, Paulie Mack. You got to be careful.
Yes.
But I hate it when you're going down, and like the sun setting, it's starting to get dark. You've been up there all day. You're kind of tired. And then here's guys like gets right on your ass on your bumper. I'm like, bro, what do you want me to do? You want me to go like 70 down this hill? Like, I don't know what you guys want me to do. You feel me on that, Tony? How do you handle that? The guy riding your ass while you're going down like hairpin turns. Like, how do you negotiate that?
All of a sudden, I become a religious man. All of a sudden, and just kind of like I put my I don't know, because that whole drive is the roads are tight. Yeah. It's like it reminds me so much of when I hiked what's called the Kalalau Trail in Kauai, and it's an 11-mile trail, and it goes along the Nepali coast. But there are parts of the trail where the trail is so thin that you're leaning against, basically, because to your right is just straight cliff down to the ocean. And if you fall, it's because it gets sketchy past like the 4-mile marker. Anyway, so it's kind of like that same feeling. So you're probably subconsciously like leaning in the car, hoping that you're helping the bus and the momentum of the bus stay, on the right side of the road.
I got a funny Mount Tam story with Rags, and right after this, dude, we go do some Long Bridge love. So years ago, Rags was out visiting, and I was like, dude. Because New Jersey and California are so different. They're just so different. Like you can't hike mountains in New Jersey. You know what I mean? They have other stuff. They got the shore. There's their own appeal there. But when Rags came out, I don't even know if he's on the board today. I think I saw him. He is. Okay. Yeah. So Rags came out, and I'm like, Rags, while you're out, dude, I got to take you up to Mount Tamalpais. You've never seen anything like this. I'll drive you up there. We're going to go hiking. It's going to be great. And he's like, yeah, man. Yeah. So we go out, and this is like 20 years ago. So we go out, we have way too many beers. And then the next day I'm like, all right, Rags, let's go. Get in the car. We're going. And he's like, oh man, I'm really hungover. I don't think I can do this. Dude, I started yelling at him. I'm like, get in the effing car. We're going up to Mount Tam. Like I was yelling at Rags the whole ride up there. I'm like, dude, we're going hiking and you're going to freaking like it. You know what I mean? And he was like, dude, I don't want to do this. I'm like, dude, shut up. You're going. And like, dude, we're doing those hairpin turns and everything. And it was like, dude, it was a lot for him to handle. But we did make it back in one piece. And I'm glad you did too, Stevie B. And I'm sorry I missed you, bro, but I'm glad you had a good time.
He made it in one piece. Rags was okay.
Yeah, there's Rags sweating my ass off, all hungover, totally, 100%. And I was yelling at you that day. I don't usually yell at Rags, but that day I was like, I don't want to hear it, Rags. Get in the car, put your belt on. We're going up the mountain, damn it. And he was okay. And I remember a couple times, Tony, I was hiking angry. You know what I mean? I was like hiking. And then I'm like looking around. I'm turning around to see Rags, and he's like all sweating, and he's like, oh, man. I'm like, let's go. I turned into like the sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. I don't know what was going on that day. I really wanted you to see Mount Tam. I think it was, Rags. And then, well, I can't tell the full story, but yes, I did take you to Tommaso's for dinner. Great memory, Rags. I took him to Tommaso. You got to go to Tommaso's like a gentleman, you know?
Well done, man. Tommaso's, and I heard that they were closing their doors, but then I heard that they might be saved. So
confusion. I was down there the other day. I was on Broadway and I looked over at Kearney and it looked like it was open, but I can't confirm that. What do we have information wise on this?
That's great news. That's the latest I've heard. Then fine, and I hope that it stays open because it's one of the greatest Italian restaurants that I've ever been to. Just period. Not just in San Francisco, but that I've ever been to. Period. It's been that and Cafe Macaroni on Columbus, at the bottom of the Columbus, right by the pyramid. Oh man, what you want to talk about? Incredible food. Both those spots.
Well, Rags is spelling it out. So let me finish the story then. And then we're going to Longbridge, I swear to God. So while we were waiting, because when you go to Tommaso's, if you don't have a reservation, you basically wait outside, like on the sidewalk, till they can see you, and then you walk down the stairs. Such a great spot, dude. They got a killer prosciutto pizza in there, among other things. Great dishes, great everything. But anyway, we're waiting outside to get seated, and then, dude, here comes a limousine. I think it was like a bachelorette party. This is a true story. And Rags is from Jersey, so now he's getting the full San Francisco experience. We're sitting outside waiting for our table. Here comes a limousine with the sunroof open, and out of the sunroof was about, I don't know, a 6-7 foot inflatable phallic symbol, if you know what I'm saying. Just a gigantic inflatable penis right out of the sunroof. And I'm like, well, Rags, welcome to San Francisco, buddy. This is how we do it out here. We got inflatable phallic symbols riding down the street in limousines. That's a true story. I wish we had cell phones back then. We would have captured that forever. But that is true. Yeah.
I hate to say that when you say inflatable penis, I think about Michael Penix because of his last name. And how about Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons going into Minnesota?
Yeah.
Dude.
You like your Penix. He's a lefty. Go ahead.
I do. And they only scored one touchdown, but they held Minnesota to 6 points, man. Again, JJ McCarthy, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know.
He did beat the Bears last week. That was his first start. He beat the Bears in the fourth. He had 3 lousy quarters, and then he played well in the fourth and beat them. I got to be fair. I didn't see the game. I didn't see the Falcon game yesterday. What did you see from McCarthy? What happened?
Just not a lot of confidence and a little bit of happy feet. And I don't know. I mean, it was obviously a team loss for the Vikings because they gave up the 22 points to the Falcons. So it's not on McCarthy. That's not on McCarthy, but you would think that they'd be able to get down the field and put some drives together. And that didn't happen. So just scoring 6 points against the Falcons team at home, dude. And the Metro, not that I was going to say the Metrodome.
That's okay. I'll call it Municipal Stadium if I have to. I'll go back to the Chuck Foreman days, bro. Are you old enough to remember when they played outdoors? Do you have any memories of that? The Vikings outdoors? Yeah, I missed that. That was great.
Dude, shout out! I want to get to Scarlet Fire Super here in a second. We'll get to Long Pizza too, but shout out to the Glad Bag home run fence in the Metrodome. They're like in the 87, like the 87 Twins. Like
the Glad Bag, like a bunch of lawn bags just plastered to the wall. I don't know what that was about. What the hell was that?
And Kirby Puckett was like robbing home runs over that bag all the time. Those Twins teams in the late 80s were so fun to watch, man. When you had Bert Blyleven, Kent Herbeck, Dan Gladden, Kirby Puckett. I mean, dude, and Tom, what was the manager's name? Tom something. Tom, he had glasses on. If you saw a picture of him, it's a single syllable last name too. Anyways, he was the manager, and they were a really fun team to watch, get behind, because the Giants were okay. They were good too, but I needed to root for an AL team as well. Paulie, yes, but
real quick. Quick KNBR sports KNBR. I just dropped a KNBR. That must be the Murph effect. Hanging out with Murph all weekend, dude. I just dropped my first KNBR bomb in 8 months of broadcasting. This is Paul and Max Particles, not KNBR, but I did get some of that KNBR kind of stuff on me over the weekend from hanging with Murph. I was going to say, quick PMP sports desk update from Robot Centaur, who's always on top of it. Rag's kind of a stringer too. Rags is like a stringer to Robot Centaur. They're putting stories together. He said he wanted to pass along that McCarthy is out next week, and it's going to be Carson Wentz getting the start at quarterback. So interesting tidbit right there. I can't believe Wentz is still in the league, dude.
Mhm.
Wentz is just hanging around, man, going from team to team, whoever needs. And there was a time when Carson Wentz almost won a freaking MVP award, which is crazy.
Yeah, and you want to talk about fortunate to have Mac Jones? Would you rather have Mac Jones or Carson Wentz as your backup QB, dude? Like, come on.
I'll take Mac Jones 10 times out of 10. And I think the guys really like him. It seems like the players really like Mac Jones, which is a good sign that they want to play for this kid.
I think Kyle's falling back in love with him too. Just kidding. Kyle loves Brock. He loves Brock.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, there's going to be something brewing. No, you're not that far off the mark because he does love him. Kyle does love Mac Jones, and we've known this. He did, even before Trey Lance got drafted, a lot of us thought he was going to take Mac Jones. And then keep this in mind too. Originally, they were saying Brock Purdy could miss 5 weeks. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, he might be back next week. So I think Brock is like, I better get my ass back on the field before the drums start to beat. But it's the best possible scenario when you have two really good quarterbacks. It does get dicey, but Tony, I'm not expecting a controversy. No. But if Mac Jones keeps lighting it up, people are going to start talking. It's just the nature of the beast, man.
Well, Kyle's going to have that twinkle in his eye for Mac. I mean, he wanted Mac Jones out of college. We all remember that. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying Kyle doesn't like Brock Purdy. I'm just saying Kyle wanted Mac Jones as his QB in that draft when they took Trey Lance. That was documented. But anyways, Paulie and Robot Centaur, part of your update. Jordan Mason hopefully will get the start for the Vikings next weekend because Aaron Jones is out next week as well.
That's
so
right.
Let's send good tidings, good vibes to Jordan Mason. Hopefully have a good start for the Vikings, even though I wish it were still in the red and gold, man. Oh God, I wish he was still in the red and gold. Paulie, we got to move on to Longbridge Pizza. We got to do our hot and sour picks. We got to do studs and just review our hot and sour picks real quick. Studs and duds. And I also want to share some pictures as well. So
okay, so let's start with some Longbridge love. Shout out to Longbridge Pizza. If you guys were catching Giant games at the Yard this weekend, hope you went out and had a good time. Even though the Giants had a pretty rough go of it on Saturday and Sunday, Friday was like a fairy tale game, dude. It was like a motion picture with that. First of all, Verlander pitching his guts out for 7, and then Patrick Bailey with the grand slam. That was amazing. It was an amazing game. Murph and I were up on top of the mountain Saturday, Tony, talking sweep. We're like, we're going to sweep these a-holes. So we're going to sweep them. Obviously, that didn't happen. So they call up Bryce Eldridge. But my original point was, if you were down at the Yard this weekend, I hope you stop by Longbridge Pizza on 3rd Street in the Dog Patch neighborhood. We've been talking about it for a while. But if you're new to the show, get on down to 3rd Street, 2347, few blocks south of Chase Center, and walkable distance to Chase and to Oracle Park, or ride the scooter like Tony does. If you want to do that, go ahead. I rode the trolley like a gentleman. You know what I mean? Me and Humdinger 87. I had Escobar with me, Los D, bro, just riding down the freaking trolley. So my point is, there are a variety of ways to get you to and from Longbridge to the game at the Yard, or if you're going to Chase for some Valkyries ball. They got playoff basketball happening right now. So stop by, join the Vibe Tribe, see why Neil Denardi, the owner, the namesake, see why has created this community a lot like ours. They call it the Vibe Tribe. They got a great social media handle, too. Check out Longbridge Pizza on Twitter. They post all kinds of cool stuff. And they're very active in the community. Neil Denardi is one of these really thoughtful guys he's a South City kid, and he brings that whole flavor to everything he does. And he's always trying to help out the community. That being said, Tony, do we still have the slices for Sami going?
Yes.
If you want to reintroduce that today, that might be a good idea to put that up on the screen. And just know this. The pizza selections, they're at your service, whatever you have. Try the Polymac Particle Pizza. I'm a big fan of the Nico Pizza. Neil named that one after his son, Nico. The sandwiches on Wednesday are outstanding. We had the drunken chicken parm last week. The Vinny's Gabagool is always waiting for you. But, Tony, I'm going to hand this over to you so you can talk about the Slices project for Sami a little bit.
Well, I want to talk about a couple of things, Paulie, but Slices for Sami is happening on September 29th. It's a benefit for their friend in the Dog Patch who has his own coffee business right there in Potrero Hill. He had a bicycle accident in the Dog Patch, and that neighborhood takes care of each other. And one way is that Neil Denardi said, you know what, let's do a fundraiser. There's, I think, 6 different pizzerias that are going to be at Longbridge September 29th. There's going to be a comedy hour, and we will have the Eventbrite website on our YouTube page on the links tab. Just click on links if you want to go. We would love to get some of the PMP Familia there. I'm telling you what, if I can make it, I'm going to go because I really want to. All you can eat pizza and comedy, and for a good cause. Neil and all of these other pizza chefs and pizzerias are giving every single cent that made from this night to Sami in his recovery from his major cycling accident. So Slices for Sami is going on. And Paulie, I also wanted to share this. Look at Neil Donardi and our guy Stinking Badges. That's Greg. We don't need no stinking badges right there. And Neil Donardi, the guy's calendar is, I don't know how he has time to rest, because obviously he was making pizza somewhere this weekend, and that was going to be my point. Neil, you can hire Neil to do corporate events or contact Longbridge Pizza and talk to Neil about coming to your event and making pizza on site. He's going to be doing things for my kid's school, which is also Neil's kid's school now. And it looks like he was at an event here with Greg. We don't need no stinking badges. So I just want to show, and look at the Italian Giants jersey on Neil.
That's badass, bro. I need one of those, man, with the red and green. That's killer. That's a killer. I've never seen that jersey, but nice, dude. Great photos. Great photo. Yeah. Oh, I wish I had that slice right now. Looks good.
Neil just is a man about town, and we love him, and we thank you so much for the support. And on Wednesday night, I'm going to talk to Neil before Wednesday, but he wants to give away a couple tickets to this fundraiser as well, Slices for Sami. So I'll talk to Neil, and we'll get more in depth on Slices for Sami on Wednesday night as well, Pete.
Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you, Neil, and thank you, Longbridge Pizza. We love you guys, man. Also, want to shout out, I forgot to do this at the beginning of the show. Shout out to all of our friends on the Cron 4 Plus app. You're watching the show. We love being part of the Cron family. We'll be back on the phone with them shortly, Tony. We'll be back on the phone with Cron shortly. We got a lot going on right now. We'll tell you about it soon, but we are working on another project, and we'll share that with you soon. But it's going to be a busy day. Anyway, Cron 4 Plus app, streaming new PMP episodes every night at 11:30, Tony.
Yes, also, and it's on the Cron 4 Plus app through your smart TV, through your Roku or your Amazon Fire Stick or Apple TV. They will be working. They're working right now on having it available on your mobile device as well. And once that happens, we will obviously alert you to that, so you can download the app on your mobile, on your smartphone, and watch the show at your leisure, because that's where everybody watches stuff now. I mean, the way my kids fly around, when they ask me to borrow my phone. And next, oh yeah, I just want to check, Dad, I just want to check my fantasy score. Can I borrow your phone? Next thing you know, 20 minutes later, I'm like, where is my freaking phone? And it's my kid watching YouTube shorts. And all of a sudden, it's funny because Paulie, our show will pop up on the YouTube shorts reels that he watches. And I'm like, Jesus, they all watch. That's how they watch everything. So the Cron 4 Plus app will be available on your mobile device soon. And then Greg, also known as Stinking Badges, checked in. It was the South City Festa Italiana, Festa Italia in South City over the weekend. So that's where they were. And dude, just kudos right there, Festa Italia from South City. And Neil, he's a traveling road show. I think Neil, if he wanted to, he could just get his wife and kids and say, you know what, we're going on Fish Tour, we're going on Panic Tour, we're going on Dead Company Tour, and just roll out the pizza oven in the lot and make a killing as he goes from show to show to show. So just Longbridge Pizza, we love you guys, and thanks again for the support. Paulie, moving on. Okay, studs and duds, or quick hot and sour review. Your pick.
Well, okay, why don't we go hot and sour review, arrow, studs and duds? Why don't you start? So week 2 of the hot and sour picks. Tony and I give you our picks every week, every Friday. I'll pick 2 games with the spreads. Tony picks 2 games with the spread. So far, it's been all NFL. That's really where I tread. I don't really feel comfortable making college picks. It's so unpredictable. Did you know the Texas Longhorns, I think they were like 40-point favorites over the weekend? Something like that, some unbelievable spread. And they're crushing that Manning kid down there. Bro, they were booing his ass, dude, on his own field. Anyway, my point was, Tony, if you do want to branch out at some point and pick some college games, that's fine. I'm going to stay in the NFL. I feel way more comfortable there. So how did you do last week, Tony? How'd you do week 2 for your hot and sour?
First of all, you said you don't like to tread there. Dude, can we give love to Metallica's Don't Tread on Me, right?
I thought you were going to drop a Billy Corgan Smashing Pumpkins Where Boys Fear to Tread. which, by the way, one of my favorite Pumpkins tunes, but the riff is so effing heavy. Bam, bum, 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 bam, bum, 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 bum. Go, 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 kids. Bam, bum, bum. Heavy as hell, dude. Heavy as hell. Anyway, yeah.
I love your appreciation for Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. That double album by Smashing Pumpkins. It's a masterpiece, man.
I wish you weren't so hard on it. You've been hard on Melancholy for years. I'm trying to. There's two things Tony doesn't like. It's Melancholy, and what was the other thing I was breaking your balls about not liking, even though you do? I forget. I was giving you grief about something else. But no, I love that record. And I got to tell you the truth. I never would have really listened to them to the extent I do if it wasn't for you. Tony basically sat me down. He goes, check this out, check this out, check this out. And it got to the point where I had to throw a white flag up. I'm like, you got to stop. I can't. It's too much. I can't handle it. I remember that. It was on 25th Avenue when you were living in the Richmond out there. It was one of our high noons, dude. It was a high noon session. Yep. And Tony just starts throwing rights and lefts and jabs, uppercuts. I'm like, I don't think I can handle much more of this because it's a lot to take on, some of that Pumpkin stuff. But thank you, because you showed me the way, man.
And that was before we even dove into Melancholy. I was just playing you cuts from Gish and Siamese Dream.
Yeah.
And then when we explored Melancholy, it's like, oh boy. I mean, it is. Stevie B, I see you in the chat. He says it's a masterpiece, and it is. And Polly, I'm trying to find that on vinyl, Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. It's like a full-on book. Like the whole packaging and everything. It's like $100, but worth it because you're literally buying something you're going to have forever. But Tommy Tunes at Vinyl Solution says he can't keep it on the shelves. Every time he gets it, it's gone the same day. So it's that good of an album. But Paulie,
yes, sir.
Sour picks. I took the Lions -6.5, and obviously they covered. Jared Goff, dude, 5 TDs. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 3 TDs. Humdinger, I saw your note. I'm sorry to hear that he has Joe Burrow. And we'll get to Joe Burrow in a second in the show, but he's struggling now in fantasy football because Burrow went down. And then I have the Raiders tonight +3.5 at home. The interdivisional matchup home dog is what I'm going with here. The home underdog in Vegas hosting the Chargers. It's no disrespect to the Chargers or Herbert or Harbaugh. I think it's going to be a dogfight of a game. I think it's going to be a very close game and could come down to a field goal, which I'm hoping.
Well, it's kind of like you said earlier about Pete Carroll. Like his teams, they compete. Guys like playing for Pete Carroll. I expect a much improved Raider team this year, but same with Harbaugh. Dude, Harbaugh has rejuvenated the Chargers. I think it's going to be a great game tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. Could go either way in my mind. Anyway, for my picks, Tony, I went 1-1 again. So I'm 2-2 after 2 weeks in the books. I missed on the Steelers game. I took the Steelers at home against Seattle, given 2.5 points. And obviously Seattle just kind of blew them off the field. But I did hit on the Bengal game, which was surprising because Burrow left the game. Obviously, we just talked about it with the toe. He is going to have that surgery. He's going to miss 3 months, but the Bengals do get the win, 31-27. The spread was 3.5, so I just made it over the finish line by a half a point, but I'll take it. It's a win. It's a win. So 2-2 on the year. And what are your numbers after 2 weeks, Tony?
I was 0-2 last week, and I won the Detroit game so far. So I'm 1-2. I'm hoping to get back to 500, be 2-2. But Paulie, you said you're 1-1 this weekend, and you went 1-1 last weekend. I kind of want to just call up the track by Hall & Oates and change the vocals to not 1-on-1, but 1-and-1. You know the Hall & Oates track, 1-on-1. I want to play that game tonight. 1-on-1, I know. Dude, so you're 1-and-1, not 1-on-1. So congratulations. Okay. Hey, 500 is 500, dude. It's like when you gamble, when you play blackjack, anytime the dealer is not taking your money away, it's a win. So the fact that you are 500, you're Jerry Seinfeld, even Steven. Everything evens out, right?
Yeah. That's like Kramer. Kramer looks at Jerry and goes, "You're even Steven. You're even Steven." And he goes, I think I am even Steven. But no, I'll take even Steven. It's like you said, as long as you're not losing, you're doing okay. 500 is fine in our neck of the woods, dude. I ain't Jimmy the Greek over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just picking games off the seat of my pants. So from shout out Jimmy the Greek. Where is he now? You know, Irv Cross, bring him back, dude. Bring me some Irv Cross while you're at it, dude. Irv Cross was holding it down back in the day. Musburger, the whole lot of them. Tony.
Oh, dude, Jimmy I can't believe you went Jimmy the Greek, dude. That's incredible. Wow, that's amazing.
Well, he was like the original. He was like the original forecaster. He was picking games back in the 70s and 80s until his scandal. You won't see him no more. Jimmy the Greek. He said some way inappropriate stuff, dude, on camera. They had to boot his ass off the camera. All right, Tony. So from hot and sour to the studs and duds of the week. Look at him, dude. Look at him.
That's why I had to share it, man. Just because
He's got to be half in the bag right there, bro. He had to have a flask in that jacket pocket, dude. He old school as it gets, dude. Old school.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyways, we can move on. I said to share for people who don't know who Jimmy the Greek was, or because he long time passed, right? I think we lost him a while ago. So, but Irv Cross, dude. And you know what I loved about Irv Cross, dude? He had the part in his hair. Because he had a nice, finely coiffed head of hair, but he had the part, and I wonder if that was like either combed in or shaved in. Because now kids shave all the lines in their heads, but I don't think Irv Cross did that back in the day. I think he parted his hair and had a beautiful. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of that. I'm gonna find a picture of that before the day's over because that's
always get that Irv. You always get like the Irv Cross report from the field. Let's go down to the field and check in with Irv Cross. And he's like, "Yeah, it's 10 degrees out here. The field is frozen." But he would always be down there doing like the pregame like field check and stuff. I missed Irv Cross. He was good. All right, Tony. I'm sorry. What do you got, T?
I was saying Irv Cross is very good, and I was looking for a photo, but I can't find it. I'll find it before the. Oh, there it is. Oh, stand by.
Okay, give me some Irv. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. There it is. All right. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Pete.
Humdinger 87 is saying it's called a hard part when you have a part like that, like Irv Cross. I need to see it to get refreshed a little bit.
Go.
Yeah. Very nice. Great memory. Good recall.
Right. And there he is. Yeah. What a stud.
Dude, you know what I mean? Give me Irv Cross. He's better than most of the guys on TV. Now, I'll take him over Tom Brady to dropping Patrick and Travis for every time he opens the mic. I'll take Irv Cross in a second over Tom Brady. And I like Tom Brady. I do. I don't like hate Brady or anything. I always liked the guy, but it was kind of getting on my nerves yesterday, all the first name buddy stuff. Oh, Patrick this, Patrick.
Robot Centaur Sports Desk. I should probably do this. The Robot Centaur Sports Desk reporting JJ McCarthy out 2 to 4 weeks now. So not just this Sunday, out 2 to 4 weeks. So thank you, Robot Centaur, aka Fareed. Paulie, we got to move on to studs and duds, and then we got to show some picks, and then we can let people go on their way. Studs and duds, Paulie. I want you to do you want to do your dud first or your stud? You want to end?
I'm going to do my dud first, then I'll do my stud, and I'll throw it over to you for your two picks of the week. But my dud of the week, to start on the negative tip, is the Joe Burrow turf toe injury. It's just a shame. I really like this kid. I think he is one of the upper echelon quarterbacks in the NFL, and he has never quite had the complete team around him. He did make it to that one Super Bowl. Rams got a really suspect holding call, if you remember, late in the fourth quarter, kind of allowed them to win that game. But so far, Joe Burrow, without a ring on his finger, and in my mind, he's as good as anybody out there in the league right now. So this really hurts. Sorry for your loss in fantasy, too. I mean, I'm sure this screwed up a lot of people's fantasy teams. And the word all year is that, the Bengals are going to win some games, but their defense is so suspect. Unbelievably, they've gotten off to a 2-0 start, but it's not a good diagnosis for Joe Burrow. He's going to have surgery, and he's going to miss at least 3 months, which is essentially the whole season. I mean, I guess you can hold out hope for some kind of miraculous return in the postseason if the Bengals can make it that far. We'll see. But I send my well wishes out to Joe Burrow. As I say, I am a fan. I think the NFL is in better shape when that kid is playing ball because he can do so much, and he's such a gutsy competitor. So get well, Joe Burrow. That is my dud of the week. Real bummer there to lose him for 3 months. There goes the Bengals. Realistic hopes. For my stud of the week, Tony, I'm going to stay in New Orleans, man, and I really want to give some love to Mac Jones. He's the guy I'm going to pick today because, kind of getting thrown in the fire, not expecting that he would be starting week 2 of the season. I mean, in today's NFL, like Tony was saying earlier about Trent Williams, guys do miss games. 17 games is a long slog, man. These guys their bodies get pounded. So not unusual for a quarterback to miss a game. I think it happened a lot sooner, though, than most of us hope. But Mac Jones stepped in, played really good football. Tony, some numbers for you. He went 26 of 39. He threw 3 touchdown passes, man. 26 and 39, 3 TDs and 0 picks. Most importantly, 0 picks. So, I think that getting a sense and getting a feel for how his teammates feel about him, I had no idea that people. I heard this repeatedly yesterday after the game that apparently Mac Jones has a really good sense of humor, and I never would have guessed that. I put something in bookmarks actually of them walking on the field. And he's riffing with Kendrick Bourne. It sounds like the stuff we would do. Dude, they're walking down the tunnel. It's Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne, and he goes to Kendrick Bourne. There's some guy, some like worker in the Superdome, is like leaning up against the wall, and they're passing this guy, and Mac Jones goes, yo, Kendrick, that guy looks like your brother. What, are you related to that guy? And Kendrick Bourne just starts howling with laughter. It was a really nice moment to see those guys that loose before. Yeah, give me a taste of this real quick. Look at this.
Here we go.
Yeah. Now, Tony, that might seem like a little thing, but to me, that's kind of a big deal because this is a backup quarterback, man. This is not the leader, the starter, but the fact that he's that loose and that comfortable with these guys, and I heard that repeatedly, he's got a great sense of humor. So for the 3 touchdowns, for the 0 picks, for the team chemistry, and for helping the Niners get to that 2-0 mark, and I would expect we're going to see him again next week in the home opener, unless Brock suddenly miraculously feels so much better that he can play, but it's unlikely. I think it's likely that we'll see Mac Jones next week. So onward and upward, Mac, you're my first stud of the week. And with that, Tony, I'll hand it over to you. What do you got for me, buddy?
Dude, I'm going to go stud first, then dud. And we kind of, I don't know, teased it earlier in the show. And I love what you're saying about Mac Jones. And by the way, Kendrick Bourne, 3 catches. For that goes to show you there's a little connection between Jones and Kendrick Bourne from their New England days together. So that's cool.
Nice.
Also, I got to say, dude, Fred freaking Warner, dude, is my stud. The guy, I mean, I'm not going out on a limb here with this pick, but the guy is just he is the emotional leader of the team. He literally gives all of it. All of himself is on the field. Every game he gives. I mean, he does not take a play off. The guy was in tears walking out off the field, looking at all the Niner faithful in the Superdome. Dude, he had 11 tackles yesterday? Let me just double. Yeah, 11 total, 7 solo tackles, 11 total tackles. And dude, the freaking punch out of Kamara, of the football out of the arms of Kamara, was huge.
Yep.
Huge. And that just goes to show you. I think Humdinger 87, aka Leah Phelps. I saw this in the chat earlier while we were talking about Warner earlier, that he's the heartbeat of the team, and I truly believe that. She's right on the money, and I totally agree. He's the heartbeat of the team. They go as the Niners go as Warner goes. He's the leader, and he's just a great role model, dude. Like, I talk to my kids about, you want to watch somebody and really just appreciate like work ethic and teamwork and camaraderie, watch Fred Warner. And so he's my stud of the week. He's my he's my favorite Niner right now. It's not even close, to be honest with you. I love, he's a throwback player, man. Like, he would fit in with those 80s Niners teams. He really would. And so I love Fred Warner. He's my stud of the week. My duds of the week are
you're doubling up. I love this. Go ahead. Let them fly. Let the duds fly, man.
This isn't a person, Paulie. It's the tush push is my dud of the week. Even though it helped the Eagles beat the Chiefs.
It was out of control yesterday, Tony. I believe, top of my head, they tush pushed 7 times and 5 in the fourth. Dude, they were tush pushing down the field, essentially.
It's not football, dude. And Andy Reid's losing his mind on the sideline. I'm like, you know what? I would be too. And if I was a Chiefs fan, I'd be losing my freaking mind yesterday because it's not football. I'm watching Saquon Barkley literally grab Jalen Hurts' ass and push it forward like 3 yards. I can't.
I would do that just for fun, just to get a handful and some cheeks, and you know what I mean? Give it a push. By the way, real quick, before you carry on, sorry to interrupt you, but this is pretty good. Scarlet Fire checked in because I said, Tony, let the duds fly. Scarlet Fire coming in true Jersey riffing fashion. She goes, this is what it sounds like when doves cry, flump, flimp, flimp, flimp. When duds cry, dude. This is what it sounds like when duds cry. We might need to work that into a show open. That's really good. That's good, Scarlet Fire. Thank you.
Let's hit the studio. I'm down.
Anyway, back to Saquon with a handful of cheeks. Go ahead.
I did. By the way, Scarlet Fire also checking in. She said that she saw a tush push in a high school football game this weekend. So here we go.
Oh, that was SI. She went to the SI game. I wonder which team did that.
It was SI versus Acalanes, and it was I think it was on Amazon Prime. By the way, the game was broadcast on Amazon Prime. My brother-in-law Rob Marcoletti, who's the assistant athletics director, he sent me a message.
And by the way, side note, as Ralph Barbieri would say, parenthetically, he was a big parenthetically guy. Parenthetically, I'm going to drop a parenthetically real quick because I've wondered about this. These, high school football games, dude, they're on ESPN, they're on ESPN2, Amazon Prime. That can't be good for the kids. I mean, I know it's really cool, but dude, showing like nationally, because De La Salle played a couple of teams from like Texas and Florida, Las Vegas. The games would be on ESPN. I'm like, Jesus, this is getting crazy, man. I mean, it is exciting, but I wonder what that does to the psyche of like a 16-year-old kid who's now being nationally televised. It's a lot. I'm just saying, they're still kids. They're little kids.
So, Paul, it's a total juggling act. I totally agree with you. Like, they do the Bruce Mahoney baseball game. They do it at Oracle Park, and I'm like, okay, I see. Oh, that's cool. I do. But I also, when I played in the Bruce Mahoney game in high school, which is like the main rivalry between my school and Los D's Sacred Heart Fighting Irish, we did it at high school fields where you would have 5,000 people and it felt like 50,000 people because they're packed into a high school field. It was an incredible environment. Now you're playing at Oracle Park where 5,000 people feels like 10 people. You know what I mean? It's kind
That's
of
a really good call. I actually, you know what, dude? I can remember prior to my kids going to De La Salle, I can remember watching De La Salle like state championship games on TV that were played like in the Oakland Coliseum. And it's the same kind of thing. There would be like a couple of thousand people there, but it mostly looks like empty seats. It's a weird experience. Anyway, I just wonder like if that's good for kids in the long run, nationally televising these games. But I interrupted. My bad. Go ahead, T.
This is from the Pine Needle Sports Desk, who is also, I think he's one of Robot Centaur's assistants. He says Jaden Daniels now questionable with a severe knee sprain. I didn't see anything yet. I haven't checked it out, but I'm taking Pine Needle's word for it. Thank you for the heads up on that, Pine Needle. Jaden Daniels now battling a severe knee sprain, questionable for the week. So FYI on that. Paulie, but my Dud's first one is the tush push. Enough with the freaking tush push. It's not football. It should be outlawed. It should be banned. It should not be allowed in football, in my humble opinion. Yes, I understand that if the Eagles are doing that, everybody should do it. And Buffalo is an embarrassment when they try and run it. It's just they don't know how to do it.
They don't. They don't know how to run it. Yeah, right. It's weird. That's the one thing I would say, Tony, about the tush push that really makes me scratch my head. It's like they do it to perfection. It's basically unstoppable, but other teams have tried to do it and they can't execute it. It's really odd to me that other teams are not successful with that.
I think if teams did it as much as the Eagles do or worked on it as much as the Eagles do, they would get better at it. But it's not football, dude. It's like a rugby scrum.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing, man? And like you said, they almost did like half of a drive down the field, tush pushing.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't even laugh. No, it's a crazy visual. And I think there were 5 in the fourth quarter alone.
But it's not fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's like, if we're going to turn the game into this nonsense, then what are we doing? It goes back to your mom's coolest t-shirt idea. What are we doing? So that's my first dud. And then Paulie, I'm jumping sports here. I didn't even ask your permission to do this, but another dud of the week, jumping sports.
Dude, listen, I gotta call Crater Face on you. Get some Crater Face. You know the rules.
Rules are there ain't no rules.
That's it. You can do whatever you want, dude. You can bum duds, studs, whatever you want to do, man, from any walk of life, dude. You can have like the mailman be your stud if you want to. I got no objections.
And what Robot Centaur also commented, Tony, the tush push is fun to watch when it's against the Chiefs.
I agree. No, I got to agree with you there. I do.
I had a twisted, sinister laugh about it when it was happening. So yes, I agree. But at the end of the day, if the Niners want to get another ring, they're gonna have to go through the tush push at some point. So get ready for the freaking tush push in maybe like an NFC playoff game or championship game. And I know I'm putting big hopes on the season, but they're gonna have to go through. Someone's gonna have to go through Philly to get to Levi's Stadium in February, and it's the tush push. Anyways, so back to my second duds. Paulie, nobody's gonna like this, but Logan Webb and Robbie Ray are my other duds.
Yeah.
Hey, when we needed them, the most when they're dude. For a moment in time on Saturday, they were physically tied with the Mets because the Mets had already lost. And I'm like, here it is. Here's the door is open. The door is open. And we have our two aces going Saturday, Sunday. Here it is. And they both not only lose, but Robbie Ray can't find the zone.
Right.
Logan Webb gets lit up. I'm like, that can't happen when you have your two studs. That can't happen, dude. So they're my duds of the week. You didn't ask for baseball duds, but they're my duds.
Great. No, I'm glad you worked that in actually. And feel free to do that, bro. You can work in some Warrior stuff if you want. Throw Kuminga on the pile if you need to. I'm fine with that. I just want to say that I agree with you. I totally agree. And that's why I thought what Verlander was able to do Friday was so damn impressive. He really has, I think, taught us all a valuable lesson. Don't be so quick to write off a thoroughbred like that. Like, yes, he had a really tough first half. And when he did pitch well, the Giants couldn't score for him. But I'm telling you, post All-Star game, he has been the Verlander or close to the Verlander we all grew up watching. Yep. So I thought what he was able to pull off was really, really amazing. I mean, he pitched his guts out, dude. 7 innings of 1-run ball. That was enough to keep him in check, and the Giants get that win. Murph's take on Robbie Ray, by the way, because he shared this with me up on Mount Tam over the weekend. He was like, dude, is what he said. Murph is like, Robbie Ray's out of gas, flat out. It's simple. He's out of gas. Now, right. I can't. I think I see it too. Yeah. Logan Webb, on the other hand, I don't know what to make of that because you're right. We needed him to sack up on Saturday, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, agreed, man. And I agree with Murph too. Robbie Ray is out of gas. When he can't even go 5, you're out of gas. And the grunt has gotten even like louder. You know, he grunts on every fastball. I don't know. That would really, really annoy me. We had a kid in Little League this year who grunted every pitch, and I'm like, dude, again, what are we doing? Yeah. Like, anyways, a nice kid though. I will say, nice kid. Just on the field when he's pitching, he's trying to get in the kids' heads, and it worked.
One more, it worked. One more Giants note, and then we can go to your stud. Oh no, you already did your stud, Fred Warner. My bad.
I have a Giants note too. After your Giants note, I have a Giants note, and then we can wrap the show with some pictures.
Okay, totally. So real quick, Karen Bell, always good to see you. She just posted something and said, like, she goes, I think we're done this year, and they might be. I got to be honest, I don't feel great about Kaiway Starr tonight going into the desert with his 7-point whatever ERA. Bro, he's got an ERA over 7. Come on, what the hell? I hate to pin my hope, but maybe he'll pull something out of the hat tonight. I hope so. But Karen Bell goes, I think they're done this year, but it's setting up nicely for next year.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. Because think about 2010 when they won that World Series. That wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for 09. Like 09, the wheel started, like it started, like the process was beginning. You knew that was going to lead to something special, and it did. So maybe this is like the setup year for 26 because the second half has been great, and they still could get in. What are they, a game and a half out now? Is that what it is? Yeah.
They have a game and a half. They have 4 down in LA later this week.
I don't feel good about those, Tony. Now I don't feel good about going to LA. They just get. Do you know what did they score? 24 runs in 3 games, dude. Yeah. 24 freaking runs. That's a lot.
It's like if you want to, you got to go through the tush push to get to Levi's this February. You got to go through Shady Shohei and that lineup. And Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and and freaking Michael Conforto. He should be another dud because where was that last year, dude?
I want to show Michael Conforto something. I stole this off my friend Mark Christensen in high school in New Jersey. When he used to flip guys off, he wouldn't raise them like this. He would point right at you like this. So yo Conforto, dig this, buddy. Blazing guns, Marky Christensen style, right at Conforto, because I feel the same way. Watching him hit bombs, trotting around the bags. I'm like, you know what? F this guy. Murph and I were crushing Conforto on Saturday, crushing him.
Good.
I feel you.
The last thing I want to say is social media was crushing Matt Williams on Friday night for sending Grant McCray on the tag up play to try. And I just want to say, and I said it in the moment to the people I was watching the game with, I was yelling at the screen, send him. And I back that, and I want to tip my cap to Matt Williams for being aggressive because at that point in the game, you want to make them make the play. And if that throw is offline at all, McCray's safe because of his wheels. But tip your cap to Pajes. He threw a freaking seed, threw a dime right on the plate. and the catcher barely had to move to make the tag. If that throw is offline at all, which many throws to home are offline. If that throws offline at all, McRae's safe, and Williams looks like the hero.
Watch this, you guys. Watch me teach America how to disagree and still get along comfortably. We don't got to be at war all the time. Maybe I'm the guy who needs to calm the waters out there in America. But let me tell you this, Tony. I totally disagree with you. But that's fine. No, it's fine because this guy, Tony's baseball IQ is way higher than mine. But in my mind, the ball was just simply too shallow. It was just it was too easy of a play. Now, if it was a little bit deeper, send him. Let's go. Force him to make a play. But that ball was very shallow outfield grass. I just didn't like it. I'm like, you can't be going on this. Oh my God, he's going and he's out. You know what I mean? Like I saw it coming before it even happened. So I disagree. But at the end, it worked out. They won the game.
Well, I'm going to disagree with your disagreement because
perfect.
A lot of things have to happen perfectly for that play to happen, and it did. But the reason you put McRae in the game is because of his speed.
That's all. Just give me a little bit deeper, bro. A little bit deeper. We go nuts. Run for the roses. Shout out Jerry Garcia. You know what I mean?
And I love the send by Williams. And yes, Pages threw a dime. And you got to tip your cap, but make them make the play. And that's why you have McRae in there. It's to challenge them on plays like that. So
all right.
That's just me.
Can I watch me break the tension with some comedy? This comes in from Stinking Badges, and it's a great question, Tony. He asked it a couple of minutes ago. You were like objecting to pitchers who grunt, and he goes, "How do we all feel in the PMP community about grunting during lovemaking?" I'm gonna go ahead and let you answer that one, Tony. Go ahead. How do you feel about grunting? Maybe you are a grunter. I don't know. I've never been in the room. You know what I mean? I don't know what goes on. How do you feel about that made me laugh. What do you think about grunting during lovemaking, Tony? Give me all your thoughts.
I have no idea how to respond to that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Here we go.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a little bit too risque, a little too personal. Stevie B, me too, bro. Lovemaking is a golden comedic phrase, dude. How about when lovemaking? Do we incorporate that into lovemaking? All right. Anyway, I thought I'd ask.
Folly, how was your night last night? Well, great. We had date night, we had dinner, and then we made love.
Yeah. We made love for hours, actually, out multiple times. Yeah. All right, Tony, let us do a couple of mailbag pictures, and then we'll go send everybody into the lunch break. We're starting to get into the extra innings here.
It is extra innings, and this is my bad. So I'll do 20 push-ups after the show for this because two supers have been sitting there for a while.
Okay.
From two super women, Scarlet Fire. I think what time she did this, like, I don't know, 40 minutes ago. I apologize, Scarlet Fire. She says, Tony, I was on that trail, the Kalalau Trail on the Nepali coast of Kauai we were talking about earlier. She was on that trail for Hurricane Iniki. That must have been like, if you've been on this trail, if there's a hurricane on this trail, my God, I'm so glad that you're okay, Scarlet Fire. And thank you for the super. And of course you're on that trail. I'm not surprised at all. And then Patty from Napa checking in, Paulie. She says, I might have texted you, but I met Walsh's guitar tech. She was at the Sphere for the Eagles this weekend. And she says, it's now a thing. Just saying. I'm in recovery mode. Glad 49ers won. Glad we had PMP representation. So, she's talking about Joe Walsh's guitar tech for the Eagles, and now she's saying it's a thing. There's the vibes. There's vibes.
Patty's been known to throw off that vibe, and people, I found, Tony, from experience, people do respond. As Mike Damone would say, that's the idea, right? You throw the vibe out there, and I found people do respond. And that includes Joe Walsh's guitar tech. Thank you, Patty, as always. And she sent a lot of great videos over the weekend. They look great. The Eagles sounded great, look great. Joe Walsh, the whole gang of them up there. Don Henley doing this thing, sounding great. What do you got there, T? Oh, these New Orleans pictures? Yeah, let's start. Roll them out.
I just thought I'd go right to the mailbag before we wrap it up. Noemi, Catalina, she and Ray, and Corinne and Corinne's family were in New Orleans for the game, and she sent two different emails real quick. I just want to go through these. These are shots of just around town New Orleans. This is Frenchman Street, and I love that mural that she took a picture of. And just moving forward, there's the spotted cat, dude. There's my spot, the spotted freaking cat. Look at this place. I mean, it's tiny. It's tiny, and it's just a little corner of heaven in New Orleans on Frenchman Street. That's the spotted cat. Moving on. Now, I don't know where this. Oh, this might be DBA. This might be DBA, but I'm not sure where it is. But another great spot. Look at it, got trombone right there going. as you know, Paulie, everywhere in New Orleans, you just walk in, there's live music happening.
You can get the feel. I always thought, Tony, if I ever played brass, I would like to play the trombone. I swear to God, I've always looked at that instrument. I'm like, I think I could do that. I would love to get slide that thing around. You know what I mean? Whoa, do all that. I think I could do it. Maybe I'll get a trombone someday. Anyway, keep it going, T. Looking good. Look at all the red, bro. It's a Niner invasion. Look at that.
And I'm going to take you to a Trombone Shorty show next time he comes through town, by the way, just so you know, because he's from New Orleans and he's a badass trombone player.
Well, don't forget, you and I saw him together. We've seen trombone. He opened for the Chili Peppers, remember?
Yep. But I want to take you to a headlining show where he basically takes over the place for 2 hours. It's great.
Yeah.
Yes. No, his opening set was great. It was fun.
Yeah.
So keep moving on. This is the Ruby Slipper. They went to the Ruby Slipper for breakfast, dude. Nice. That's fantastic. Great spot. If you're ever in New Orleans, Ruby Slipper Cafe, fantastic spot. Oh yes, you never get into
a biscuit. You're throwing a biscuit at me. I love a good biscuit. I got to say, yeah. Look at that. Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can't tell where that is, but what's that on this?
I don't know, but it looks cool. It looks like a cool room with the umbrellas on the ceiling. Go ahead.
There you go. That is a New Orleans from Noemi, but this is also the Niner faithful. Look at these photos in New Orleans. Yeah. She just took pictures of Niners taking over New Orleans, and look at that right there. It's just a bunch of red, sea of red. Paul, look at this guy.
Dude, look at the gold. Damn, bro. Okay, bling it out, baby. Bling it out. Yeah.
And there they are.
Hey, there they are. Looking good. Look at the red lipstick matches the red hat. That's a good look right there.
Dude, and I love Ray's tinted windows, man. Look at this.
Totally. He's got his whole rock star vibe going. I love it, man.
Me too. And then lastly, Dom Peralta sent in some pics from Sound Summit that I wanted to check out, Paulie, because you and Murph were on the mountaintop of Mount Tam. First of all, there is the artwork. There's Sly Stone done by Dom Peralta and Peralta Arts and Co. That starts off the pics, but
that's my house right there. I took that home from Sound Summit and I put it right near my vinyl, and I just got to find a proper home for it. I shot a picture. I'm like, look at how great that is, and thank you, Dom. Really, really generous of you, and I believe me, that thing will be appreciated very much. It already is.
I wonder if he got one to Michael Nash. I hope he did, because Michael.
I have one for Nash. It's in my possession. I'll get it to Nash. Yeah.
And by the way, remember Peralta Arts and Co. These will be for sale on our website, on our merch page, on the YouTube page. If you click the links, there's a merch page that you can buy PMP merch, or you can buy Dom Peralta's artwork. So just FYI. And then here's a backstage. This is looking like backstage. It sounds something.
Yeah.
We've got. Let's see if I can play this video. I don't know if I can. Stand by. Nope, can't. All right, that's fine.
Okay.
That's right. I have to download it, so next time I can download. Maybe
all good.
But there's lots of some brass on the stage.
That's a Sly Stone tribute. I can tell with the red and white. Yeah, Tony, they had 20 people on stage. It was insane. It was that was my favorite part of the whole show. Was the Sly Stone tribute. It was great.
I mean, oh yeah, look at that.
Now that's Taj Mahal sitting on the chair right there. The legendary Taj Mahal, who sat in with the Sly Stone people, the Sly Stone band. It was great. It was really, really a cool set.
Look at that scene up there. Just incredible. And I can't tell.
That might be always. That might be always. I know those two guys. That looks like Murph and Mac to me. Yeah. There we are at the stage. Yeah.
I love it. So there you go. And Murph and Mac on stage, reunited, and on stage again with their notes. and I believe that's it. Maybe
all good, man. Well, thank you for the flavor. Yeah. Oh, there's cake set up. Yeah, cake was really good too. What a great day. Just a magical day. It really is. Not to be too overly dramatic, but it is. It's a really beautiful experience. Tony's been to a bunch of them. I've done them every year with Murph, and can't wait to do it again next year. Stevie B, glad you had a good time. And Dom, great to hang yesterday, or on Saturday rather. And Tony, let's get out of here because we got to get another phone call. Kron's coming strong, and they're not letting us go. They're not the guy's relentless. So we got to hop on another meeting, you guys. We love you. Patty, Dom, Scarlet Fire, James Lazat, Patty from Napa. I say that twice sometimes. Stevie B, Robot Centaur, Rags, on it goes. Yes, Steve, what do you got real quick?
Three things real quick. Longbridge Pizza, thank you for being our first sponsor ever. Support the Vibe Tribe. Become a member of the Vibe Tribe. Go to Longbridge Pizza, 2347 3rd Street in the Dog Patch, or order online, longbridgepizza.com, Neil Donardi and Andre and Steven and Gabino. They will all take great care of you. And shout out to Andrew and his newborn baby up in Tahoe. And then also we love Don Peralta and Stellar Design. And I'm sorry, Stellar Design. Jeez, I'm getting my
You're good. No, you're all good, dude. I love Brian Piccolo. I love Stellar Design. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I'm saying get in touch with Dom, Stellar Design. We talked about the Goha Leaf Care. We've talked about New Rava with the epileptic seizures and the work they're doing there. And the Baller Cam. These are all products that Stellar Design has been designed and produced. So get in touch with Stellar Design if you want. You can contact Dom Peralta. You can give him a text or a call, 650-796-3144. Or you can email Dominic at stellar.design. Paulie, and lastly, because Rags asked for it in the chat, he wants me to do the wow one more time. So my kids are
I listen, that could be interpreted in a variety of ways. It looks very risque. I know what you're doing, but you guys feel me? You know what I mean? It's just like something Prince would have been doing on stage with a lot of like subliminal undertones there. But anyway, Tony, yeah, sure. The wow hand signal. You guys do the hand signals. I'll just run my mouth. Rags has the T3. Tony's bringing the wow, and I'm bringing just the standard, hey, how's it going? All right, Tony, so let me say again, that thank you to everybody for joining us today. You know how much we love you guys. We have, by the way, last little note of the day, we are working on another get-together, another public event. We'll have information on that very, very soon. But in the meantime, Tony and I got to go put some fires out at Cron. I'm just kidding. It's all good over there, but we do have another appointment we got to get to. Love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow, Tony, at 11 a.m. We'll do it again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Enjoy Monday Night Football. I hope your Raiders deliver for you, Tony.
Yep. And Cron 4 Plus, the app on your smart TV, Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. Check us out on the video on demand or every night at 11:30 p.m.
Hey, Creative Tony, I'm going to end this show and I'm going to call you on the phone in like 10 seconds. We got to just do a little pre-thing before so let me call you in like right away. Hey, thank you guys so much. Humdinger, always a pleasure. Patty, you rule. Lily Merchant, oh, it was great to see you. All right, you guys, we'll be back tomorrow at 11. Enjoy Monday Night Football. Go Giants in the desert. Kaiway Star, get it done, baby. Get it done. Lower that ERA from 7 to 6 if you could. And we'll see you tomorrow at 11. Peace, everybody.
Class dismissed.
11 a.m. tomorrow. Looking forward to it, everybody. Peace, y'all.